Hello and good evening, everybody. For those that don't know me, my name is Jaxxx Roberts, and I'm sat next to my bestie and business partner.
Hello, hi.
Anna Green, and we're coming to you from the UK this evening. We are recording this call for those that can't make it, didn't want to make it, thought they'd just listen to the recording, whichever way around it is. So thank you very much to the 11 of you that have made an effort to come in, and that's great. And what we're going to be doing this evening is basically talking about Bitcoin in general, but also about Segwit. For those of you who don't know what it is, we're going to try and explain to you in layman's terms what it is, as the best of our knowledge. And just to try to ease some of the panic that people have been having about what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks as far as Bitcoin goes. If you have any general questions, please type them, or if you want to wait to the end, then definitely you can unmute yourself and just ask the question. Sorry, I was up till late last night and I'm a bit tired. So, does anybody here think they know what Segwit is? You can type your answer or... Does anyone think they know what it is? Okay, so of the 11 of you here, nobody understands it at all, and yet you're all in Bitcoin programs? That's a bit scary. Okay. When you do a Bitcoin transaction, which I'm sure all of you know what it is. Okay, Jane, great. I'm sure all of you know what it is. Basically, as you do a transaction, each transaction is a 1 megabyte block, which is only a tiny block, but it's only a small transaction. Now that block holds, let me show you and see if I can get a picture up to show you. Right, I'm going to come back and just, oh, what's the call? There we go. Right, let me show you my screen. Okay. Oops, no, that's a perfect private chat. Right, this is what the megabyte block holds as we know it now. And what it does is it holds all the code, which is what gets sent backwards and forwards. In this case, it's Mike and James doing the transaction. So the code is the script that actually sends your Bitcoin from your wallet, your offline key, whatever it is you're using, to your friend, in this case, James. It also holds your signature, which is your approval, your author, your allowance to send this coin transaction to your friend. It also holds what's called the public key, which is the system knowing that it's okay to send it. It's been sent from the right place, and it's going to the right person, the address is correct and everything else. Now what this means is that all this information was being sent in this one little block. And as you can see, it's pretty full. So what happens is that it was basically slowing everything down, because it's such a lot of script and code and such a huge amount of information to go into such a small piece of coding that it just is slowing it down, and it's making it very expensive. And some of you might have noticed, I've heard some transactions we've heard take up to 9 days, haven't we?
And the fees are a lot higher.
And yeah, and the fees have gone up. I mean, we're with Zappo, and we've noticed that they've made I think it's a 6 confirmation code fee and a 2. We always use the slower because it still happens in a few minutes. But they've tried to regulate the fees so that their customers aren't penalized, but a lot of people don't do that. Coinbase don't do that. They do really penalize you. So what they're trying to do now is to make all of the Bitcoin transactions a lot faster and a lot more scalable. So what's actually going to happen is that each block is going to be separated. Let me just go back to the meeting to see if someone's put any... Hold on a second. I'm just going to see if anybody has... Oh. I can't... John can't hear me. Press audio button, but okay if it's working. Okay, I'm going back. Can everybody else hear me okay? Please. Jane, can you hear me? Lovely. Okay, thank you. Right, so I'm going to go back to the screen. So what actually is happening now is that the transaction is going to be split. And basically, to stop the blocks filling up too quickly, it's going to have almost like an offshoot of a block that's going to hold the script, the signature, and the public key separately in what's known as an extended block. Now, Segwit stands for Segregated Witness Protocol. And basically what it's doing is it's the Bitcoin world agreeing that this has to happen to make the transactions faster and cheaper. It has to happen. There's no two ways about it. So the transaction itself is going to be in the main box, the main 1 megabyte block still, but the script, which is the big thing, and the signature and the public key, public key, me drinking tea, is going to go into the extended block. I think the last time we looked, 93% of the Bitcoin mining community have agreed to this. It's actually started happening. It started happening, I believe, on the 21st, and they say it will keep going till the 29th. So I'm going to come out of this a moment and go back to the, right, okay. The fork, yes, what they're saying is that the fork is probably been stopped. Now, that doesn't mean it has, because no one knows at the very last minute what could happen. There are quite a few different ones, and I'm damned for the life of me if I can remember now, but there's about 4 different ones. Some of them are user instigated, some of them are mining instigated. There's a soft fork and a hard fork, depending on what happens. We did confirm today that anybody that has their Bitcoin of whatever value in an offline wallet, people like Trezor, KeepKey, there was another one, wasn't there, a USB one? They basically will, if it does fork in any way, a legend or something, yeah. If it does fork in any way, then you will actually end up with double what you had. But that doesn't mean to say it's going to be worth anything, because the new version of Bitcoin that could appear could be worth 0.0001 cents. Could be worth nothing at all. So, but it would still show. So you don't lose anything because you have an offline wallet. So basically the Segwit is a good thing. It will happen without you even realizing it. What they're saying is try around like this next week, 25th onwards, try not to do transactions if they're not 100% necessary. Now, for those of us that are in Bitcoin businesses, that's going to be a little frustrating, quite annoying, and rather a pain in the bum, because you don't want people that you want to get into your business sending money in or sending Bitcoin in, and it disappears, or the transaction takes a week or anything, and we don't know how it's going to react. We really don't know. No, John, what they're saying is that if the fork does happen, and like I say, they say it's not going to now, but we really, really don't know. They don't know, so there's no way they can tell us 100% that we know. It could fork, like Ethereum did. Ethereum went into Ethereum Classic, so it ended up with 2. And what they thought would happen was the Ethereum Classic would actually drop off. But what happened was Ethereum itself leveled off, and Ethereum Classic ended up climbing. So actually, it's been added to the mining pool, and now it actually is a Bitcoin, a coin of its own. So that could happen to whichever Bitcoin offshoot happens as well. We don't know. That's why it's very much in the air about sending transactions of any kind, because as much as it is confusing, what is a good thing is that the Segwit 2x is what is going to make the transactions faster and cheaper, and it will make Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin itself a lot more scalable for everybody. It will make it a lot more user-friendly platform, because it should basically level off the fees across the board. So it shouldn't make a huge difference which wallet, which platform you're with. And it should make each transaction a lot faster. I did one today that took, Ali and I did the same one to an offline KeepKey. Mine took a second, and hers hadn't gone through within about 12 minutes. So, and it's from exactly the same place to exactly the same place. Exactly the same facility, just a different number on it. So that anything could have happened. It could have suddenly been an influx of transactions. We just don't know. And the only thing that makes it confusing is the not knowing. And the only way to get around that is to really sit tight and try not to do anything unless you have to with Bitcoin until after probably the 3rd of August, when it will settle down. And we will know, I'd imagine, on the 1st of August, whether or not there is going to be a hard or soft fork at all, whether it's going to affect anybody. We don't know what time. We don't know anything else about that either. But the Segwit is already going through. Sound is going off and on. Can everybody else hear me completely fine? Is it just Camille that's having problems, please? Thank you, Greg. It will only affect our business. Thanks, John. It will only affect our business if thank you, Mirinda, sorry, reading wrong. If basically we don't well, if we're going to recruit thousands of people in the next week and a half, we've got a problem. But that doesn't mean to say that for the next 3 or 4 days it's an issue. What they're saying is, don't do anything 3 days before or 3 days after. Because those 3 days, if the transaction takes 3 days to go through, you don't know what's going to happen to it. If you do it 3 days after, you don't know what's changed. So my advice, and believe me, I am a total layman. Yeah, true. I'm a total layman, but I read a lot, and Ali and I research all the time, as the guys that know us very well will tell you. Our advice would be, like I say, personal advice: don't do anything 3 days before or 3 days after. We have a trader friend who basically has said that he is going to continue as normal. Nothing is going to change. He's not worried, and he doesn't think the fork will happen. Because he was due to send some money next week, and we said, is it going to affect it? And he was like, nah, not a problem. So
the only thing that might change is that you'll notice, like last week, it might take a big drop.
Yes, yeah, that
while
could
it's
happen.
happening, but then in August again, it should just go back to where it is now.
Well, the predictions are that it could be 4,000 by Christmas, $4,000 a coin. Some are saying 10,000 by the end of next year. Nobody knows. And it's like everything. You're dealing with a currency that, although no government or banks control it, nor do we either. The miners control it. The customers, in a way, control it, because if everybody stopped transacting with it, it wouldn't be anything. It would be nothing there. It only exists because we use it.
And don't forget, all these Eastern countries are taking it so much more in their shops and everything. China and...
Well, America does now as well.
Yeah,
America takes a lot.
It shouldn't really go down because more and more people are using it for business.
Yeah, I mean, Japan have just said that they are going to recognise it now as an official currency. Sorry, Camille, it's just your network, I'm afraid, hon, because everybody else can hear me fine. So I'm sorry, I don't know what... You could always just listen to the recording if you miss bits. No, the thing is that a lot of people now are recognising that Bitcoin, that they thought was going to be in 2009 a bit of a fly-by-night and not around very much, is actually here to stay now. I think we read the other day they're only ever going to mine 21 million coins, and I think they're up to 16 million at the moment. So if you think about it, there's only 5 million left. But saying that, there's no reason to be worried about it, because what will happen is those coins will just get transacted like any other currency and just travel around the globe. Unless someone's planning to hold on to 20 million of them, in which case we should be very worried, but they're not going to. And what will happen is when the price of a Bitcoin goes up beyond the realm of normal man like us, it will then be broken down into separate parts to make it a lot more available to the man in the street. So an example is, thank you, Jake. An example is, let's say that a Bitcoin becomes $1 million, which they say at some point it can. What they will do is they will break it down into baby Bitcoins, however they decide to do that. And each of those baby Bitcoins will have a value. No, the miners don't create the transactions, you do. John, if you send me Bitcoin, you're creating that transaction. If we all stop transacting and if we all stop sending the Bitcoin to each other, then nothing will happen. It's like any currency. If people stopped buying and selling currency across the world, what's going to happen?
The miners just create the new Bitcoins.
Yes, they create the new ones. They don't create the ones that are already out there. If you've got £20 in your pocket and you decide to go and spend it, you've actually shared that money then with the system and you've put it back in the system. If you put it in the drawer and never use it, it's never going to change. It's not going to change and be broken down into different bits and pieces. It's not going to be spent. It's not going to get...
It's just like a regular economy.
Yeah,
if people stop spending, our economy goes down.
Yeah. I mean, the Bitcoin did go down to 1.6 something, I believe, was the lowest last week. And we kind of panicked slightly and there was an odd bump tweak of, oh dear. But now it's back up to 2.8 again. And we're predicting personally, and the advice we've listened to and read is that it will go down again. Yeah, it is, Jane, completely like supply and demand. It's like anything. If you have a product people want, they're going to buy from you. If you don't, shop. Bitcoin is very greatly appreciated by everyone because it is so easily used and available to every country. Unless the governments or whatever put a complete stop on it, then it really, really is something that everybody across the world can use, no matter where you're from, who you are, what your background, culture, religion, anything. It doesn't matter. It's like the lovey-dovey currency of the world, because everybody can use it. There is no reason these days, guys, for anyone that you bring into any business you're in, and I know that there's some Thrive people here and some Eagle Bit people here, and I know there's also some people that don't necessarily know Ali and I, so welcome and thank you for making the effort to come. But basically speaking, Bitcoin is the future. There's no two ways about it, because it can be held in your pocket. It can be held even in a paper wallet now. There's ways to have a paper wallet out there. That means you haven't got to go and buy an expensive one. You have to be very, very, very careful how you use it and make sure you're quite techie to do it, as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't take a chance doing one, but some will. But there is not many countries now that you cannot get a wallet for. So anyone that you are inviting to whatever Bitcoin business you are in, find a way to help that person. Find a way to make a wallet happen for them. You just literally search it. Somebody asked me the other day about Nigeria. I think Luna is one you can use in Nigeria. We went out and just typed in Nigeria Bitcoin wallets.
And Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea. We've got people in one of our businesses that, in PNG, and they use it perfectly fine. So there is even the small countries. We've got a lady in from Belize. She uses it perfectly fine. So if countries like that can do this, there is no reason why huge countries can't do it. Mostly it's people's fear. And I have to say, when Ali and I first started, about a year ago we started with Bitcoin, maybe 2 years ago. So time flies when you're my age. It was quite scary, because you think, well, how can I spend something I can't see? We're used to, as human beings, we're used to having our pennies in our hand. We're used to having whatever currency we deal in our hand. And to have something that we can't see and we can't physically handle, people are scared.
We changed our mind when we went to the ATM and actually got it out.
Yeah, we did change our mind then. And there's a couple of my team from my other company that basically jumped up and down and threw it in the air. Because, it is a real thing. And the beauty of it is, Satoshi decided that he had to design something that was going to help everybody. And this is it. And it has to grow and it has to change to be able to be scalable and to be able to be available for the long term. It could not stay the way it was. It was too slow. There was one particular transaction I did a while ago and it took 2 weeks. And that is not acceptable. If your bank transfer took 2 weeks, you'd be jumping up and down and banging on the door. Now, with Bitcoin, you can't do that, so it can be quite frustrating. You can contact support. They're normally a bunch of rubbish, but you can contact support and you'll get the stock answer of, oh, it's in the transaction, you have to wait. So what they've done is they've tried to stop that, and they've made it a lot more accessible and a lot more user-friendly for the man in the street, like woman in the street, to use and to get done quickly. Now, most wallets now as well will have a card of some description. There's many wallets across the world that have cards. There's many wallets you can transfer back to your bank. I don't like doing that, but there are some that do. The cards are normally something like between $9 and $20, I think, something like that. It is worth the price, but you have to buy it in Bitcoin. So make sure if you're going to buy one that you've either bought a little bit of coin or you've made a bit. You've made a bit, exactly. Excuse me. Now, the thing is, if you want to buy Bitcoin, then you need to find a reputable source. Don't trust the word of some guy in the street that you've met that says, oh, I bought $10 worth last week, and you're going to go and buy $1,000 worth. Because the chances are the fees are going to be a damn sight more, and the transaction could be quite scary. Don't do it. Find someone that you can get recommendations for. Find someone you can get reviews on. I've done it myself. I've been ripped off twice now. Now, mine was by local Bitcoin, and I've had an awful lot of people tell me that that's amazing and it works in their country. It doesn't work in ours. Well, it doesn't work for me anyway. And I don't trust anybody in there now because obviously twice bitten, third time shy. Coin Mum is quite good. And Coinbase you can buy through. If you've got a certain limit, you can get a limit with Coinbase. If you use it more and more, it does grow the limit. I know I've got quite quite a hefty one now. But once again, we've had transactions where they told me it's gone through, it's not come out of the bank, and 2 days later it's still not there, and they just cancel the transaction.
Coinbase seems to just decide to charge whatever they want.
Yes, Coinbase charge whatever they want. You have to be really, really aware of the fees. You also, I'll tell you something that we didn't notice till the other day, you also need to make sure the rate you are buying at. I'll give you an example. Sorry, I think I'm coming down with something. Let me give you an example. You go to buy $100 worth of coin, which at the moment would be worth, let's say you buy $280 worth of coin, which at the moment is 0.1, okay? If you go to, let's say, Coin Mama, for instance, and you go and put in 0.1, you are not going to get $280 worth of coin. You will probably get about $200 worth, because they give you it at such a low rate. I think it was something like $600 under the going rate, because they are obviously making money. It's a bit like when you go on a plane, guys, or when you go on a plane, or when you go on holiday and you come back. If you've bought euros, and I'm using euros because we use it, if you've bought euros for, let's say, 1.16, when you come to sell them back, they will give you 1.04. So they're making money on you, and it's exactly the same with Bitcoin. They're doing the same. It's a country thing, John, sadly, because, like I say, I've used Coin Mama. You just have to allow for the difference in the price. And if you're buying a huge amount, that can be quite substantial. Coinbase tends to be a bit fairer with their prices. You could always, there's quite a few rooms that Ali and I are in where you can actually say, has anybody got any to sell? But right now, as far as we're concerned, most people hang on to it. Mm-hmm. They really are hanging on to it. They're not letting anybody have it because they know it's going to go up. Even when it went down, they knew it was going to go up. Do the miners not back the Bitcoin transactions? What do you mean by back them, Camille? Can you explain that a bit more and expand on that a bit more, please? It is a country thing. It is, we know a guy that can get them quite easily, and sometimes we use him if we need them. But to be honest, we don't tend to buy them anymore. We tend to sit tight, and we tend to sell them more than anything else to people that need them. But we've stopped doing that as well now, because we're realizing the price is going to go up. It really is.
There's so many things now that you can be in business-wise to earn them, that you should be able to do that.
Even, I don't agree with some of these squatty little programs, but there are some, and I'm not going to give names because I don't know them personally, but I know of people who are earning. There are some smaller programs where you can earn something like $2 and $3 a day. It doesn't sound a lot, but over a week, that adds up. That's $15 over a week, which is $60 a month. Now, if that's going up in value, slowly but surely, you're going to make a bit more than that each time you do it. So just go and do your own research. The thing about Bitcoin is it's changing all the time. It's very flexible in the respect of what you can do with it, and it's got to grow. Therefore, there'll be an awful lot of people out there willing to rip you off. There's a few things security-wise that I will ask you to do, which is really, really important. You need what's called a keylogger on your computer. Now, a keylogger, basically, when you type something, and people that know me, or the guys that know me will know that I insist they put this on their computers. Is it QXL software? Yeah. It's, let me just type the thing in here, what it is. It's www.qxl software. Now, it's what's called a keylogger. It's free. You don't need the premium packages or anything. You just need the basic package. And what it does, did it work on there when I typed? No, it doesn't work on here. What it does is when you type, it actually types a different key. So you are typing the correct key, but in the back of your computer, in its memory, you're typing something else. It confuses them. So if you have anyone hacking your computer, especially in some of the smaller countries that aren't quite so up with the technology, if you type something that's a password or anything else, it comes out differently in the computer's memory. It comes up as gobbledygook. It comes up as gobbledygook, completely. And it's free, everybody. So there is no reason to say you can't do it. You just download it and let it sit on your computer. And across the top of your screen, I'm going to see if I can actually show you by opening a new tab. And like I say, the guys that know me will know that. There you go. I'm not sharing the screen. I'm just going to make sure it actually happens. So I'm just going to go to Google and type something, and then you'll see. Right. So what I'm going to do now, I've actually got the premium version, but only because Ali and I bought it together and we wanted to share it out. You know, we'll share it with a couple of other people. But the truth is that you can use the premium. So let me show you the screen. Right, this is my screen. And the trouble is it's not going to work because you're not going to see it. When I type, watch what happens when I type. Can you see at the top? I'm typing A. And it's actually coming up with EWJGNZ7ISS. Do you get the idea? Whatever I'm typing, it is not putting the same, it's encrypting it. And it's called a keylogger. And what it does is it actually hides what you're doing. So it's free, download it, and all you will have, the only bit of interference in your system is a tiny little bar that pops up. And every so often, a little thing will come up that will say it's deleting. And it's just deleting a bit of memory from your computer that it's saved of all the stuff you've typed. It's nothing that's going to hurt your computer in any way. We've had it on now for 2 years. The other thing you need is if you have a wallet, you need to have either Authy, AUTHY, or Google Authenticator, which basically means every time you do a transaction in your wallet, it asks you for a code that only you can possibly have. Now, for those of you that have a smartphone or an iPhone, you put them onto your smartphone or your iPhone, the app, and then basically it corresponds to your tablet, laptop, and it will ask you for the code. It's very, very simple to do. It takes a few minutes to learn. If you don't know, go to YouTube. There are thousands of videos. I think I've even done one in the past somewhere, haven't I? There are thousands of videos on there on how to add an account to an Authy or a Google Authenticator. But what it does is it's a special code that is only linked to you. Or if you don't want to do that, then most of the wallets will ask you if you want to get a code sent by SMS. Yes, it is, Janine. Thank you for saying that. It is simple. But you can also get a code sent to your phone by SMS. Therefore, obviously, if somebody has hacked your wallet, they cannot get that. They cannot get the code because it's on your phone. Yeah, Michelle, I know we're old friends, so yes, we've definitely had that put on yours. It's very, very important. Very important. Yeah, James, I'm going to say it publicly, even though you said it to me privately. Yeah, a keylogger it basically hides whatever you are typing from anyone that might be in your computer without you knowing. It will give them a false reading of what you are typing. It will not affect what you type. It will not affect the person you're talking to or whatever you're looking for, but it just hides it in the computer's memory, so that anybody that goes in after you've gone out or left or logged off to have a look for things will not find any passwords. On that note, it is so, so important that you log off anything that you are in that has your money in it, your codes in it, anything. It's what we call a hard logout. Do not do a soft logout, which is the red X, because you've left it open. It's hidden, but you've left it open. You've basically said to your computer, okay, anybody that comes in can have a look. You need to go and do a log out. It's really important you do that. If you get hacked and you didn't do it, don't blame me. Because Ali and I know from the past we have. But yeah, that's fine. Or don't keep any passwords on the computer. I do. I must admit mine remembers them. But I have my keylogger. I have my Authys on the things I need. And most of my passwords are gobbledygook anyway. I know one of our really good friends, David Roberts, he uses a password creator. And it literally gives you a random, any numbers you want. You can have from, I think, 9 to 20 random numbers as a password, or random anythings as a password. And it's something like a password creator or something like that. And it literally will give you a different one for every single thing you do. And you just keep them. He actually hides this. I'm not going to tell you where he hides this, but he hides this in a really good place. And if anybody asks me privately, I'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell you on here. But it's very, very easy to keep them just in a notepad, but nobody will ever know what they are. They're just a list of numbers. Yeah, no, it's not naughty, John. But it's just very simple, but you wouldn't look in there for them. But you can keep them on a notepad. Just keep on a notepad with the initials next to it. So if it's Thrive, just put TH and put your password. And Thrive's easy because it's only 6 anyway. But if it's anything else that you're using, it can be a huge long list of numbers, or it can be a small list of numbers. But try not to use the same one over and over again, because then everybody can find them, like I tend to do most of the time. Mm-hmm. and you. But then we know that we've got our security on our systems. So, but Bitcoin is still new. And a lot of people, as we found out to the cost of $4,000 in one of our other programs, a lot of people will try and hack anything you are in with Bitcoin. Thrive is amazing for that, because there are so many different things in the back office, and it only ever goes to your Bitcoin wallet address. They can't go anywhere else. And if they do want to change it, they have to go through a process now, which the security is really, really good. Okay, so I'm not worried about Thrive. All wallets are secured, Camille. They're still secured, but that's just an extra peace of mind for you as the authenticator. Or, like I say, the ones we're in, you can actually have a text sent to your phone. So if you don't want to have the Google Authenticator or Authy, just have the text sent to your phone, which is a bit of like PayPal do that. I know because Ali goes bananas because she has to get one every time. But PayPal will do it. You don't necessarily have to have an authenticator on it. You can just go into the security settings and ask to have an SMS sent to you, an SMS code, and it can be a 6-8 number code. Yeah, it's really important, because the fact it goes to your own phone, only you can ever get that. Anybody gets into it, they're stuck. They can't go further than just trying to log in past. I get probably 5 or 6 emails a week, because I have an awful lot of emails, people trying to hack my emails. But because I've got codes on all of them, they never get further than, by the way, someone's just tried to get into your email. And I have one called Bliblob, and someone tried to get in that for some stupid reason. God knows why. I mean, what would they get an email called Bliblob for? But they did. So, you know, people will try and hack anything. Yeah, I've got an SMS thing on my Facebook if I want it, and also my emails, my Gmail. I've got one as well. Every so often it'll pop up and ask me for a code. So they are really important, but on your Bitcoin especially. And for those of you that are in Thrive, once your coins start growing, which they will, as long as you're promoting it, of course, guys, you're going to need that extra security on there. You're going to want to. The worst thing is if you've got £400 in there or $400 and you come down one morning and it's gone because you didn't do something simple like put a bit of security on there. And what it's called 2FA, second factor authentication. So if you ever see 2FA anywhere, it's not being rude. It's telling you that you need to have another level of security on your system. I know Coinbase definitely does it. And I know full well they do Authy because I've got it on my phone. So most wallets now will do it. I know Zappo does it, Coinbase do it. And what was the other one? eCoin do it. Most of them do it. And if you can't find it, go and look. Yeah, Wirex as well. If you can't find it, go and have a look and go and ask them if they can't find it, or find another wallet. Because 99.9% of them now I know should do it, but for the protection of their customers. And at the end of the day, what you have to realize is that you are a customer who is still paying them money. So yeah, it is. That's why it is Wirex now. You're right, John. I just never went back to using it. I know you do. But you are a customer. Every transaction you do since the fees came in will give them money from you. So they should be looking after you. They should be protecting your Bitcoin and your money that you're earning. Because when you send it, they're going to earn money off you. So it's really important that they do actually have the security on there to look after you. Banks don't. They can just drive through the blinking hole in the wall and rip it out. Ridiculous. But, you know, most banks now will tell you don't give out your passwords to anyone. Don't let, if somebody rings up, give your codes out. Exactly the same for Bitcoin. If anyone ever asks you for a Bitcoin address and you're not sending them money or they're not sending you money, don't even speak to them. It's simple security for yourself. Bitcoin should not be taken lightly anymore. It is going to be huge. And for those of you in Thrive that do promote and do push this, it is so important that you make sure that your money is protected. Otherwise, why did you join a program with Bitcoin? You could have just joined anything. Bitcoin is going to be the next big thing as far as we're concerned.
That's why people are joining them.
That's why people are joining.
There's so many out there which are just rubbish.
Yeah. If you can afford to get an offline hardware, like a Keep Key or anything like that, then do it when you can. Because once you've got it, it's yours forever. It's not going to go away. You keep it. But you're in control of the keys on it. You're in control of the codes. It's yours. Nobody in that. It's like The wallets are a bit like the banks. They control what happens in there. But your offline hardware wallet is yours. It's like having a little safe to keep your Bitcoin in. Nobody can touch it. And I think some of them, the Trezors were quite expensive, but I think the Keep keys was something like $279, and now they've come down to $99. So it's really important to have one of those and to know that when you have got some money coming in, you can just send it over to them. And they're very easy to use. They're exactly the same as any other transaction. Exactly the same. In fact, I think they're quicker actually, because you can put your phone up with the QR reader.
Even on there,
yeah, the security is amazing. We had 12 words to choose, so if it gets lost or anything else, we can then apply to KeepKey to get another one and not lose our Bitcoin. You know, it's really important that you treat it sensibly and not treat it lightly. You don't give away your Visa card to everyone. Don't give away your Bitcoin details. It's so important that you don't. Does anybody have any questions? I'm not going to drag on for too long for you. Does anyone have any questions that you'd like me to answer, or anything that we can help you with? Anything you're still confused about? For those of you that came in later, the Segwit is happening as we speak now. It started on the 21st, we believe, and going through, and it won't really affect you that much. And the fork, we think, has now been stopped. So basically that hopefully won't happen, but we really, really don't know yet. But I just think you need to be aware 2 or 3 days before and after to make sure that you don't do huge transactions just in case. But does anybody have any questions that we can answer for you at all? The email that you spoke about earlier for the keylogger, do we have to insert it in a program? The www.qxl software. Yes, basically on your laptop or on your tablet. I don't think it works on a Mac. I think a Mac is the only one it doesn't work on, because a good friend of mine had one and it wouldn't work. But then Macs have their own security inbuilt and they're very good. But it's QXL, I'll write it here again, qxlsoftware.com. If you just literally click on that link, yes, I will, John. If you literally click on that link and then go, it will ask you if you want to download it, the free program, and you can, and then it will just do it all for you. It's very, 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 very simple. Okay, let me just go over to Thrive back office, just a second. For those of you that aren't in Thrive, I apologize. We're just going to quickly run through the back office and show you how the dashboard works. Just give me a second while I log in. Okay, right. Come back to here. Sorry I was late. I'm not putting BTC in Vault. This is okay. Yes, yeah, that's fine. I'll be honest with you, James, I don't like vaults. I had someone who was trying to get money out of them and it took him nearly 3 weeks. And if you want to go and buy a car or a house that's going to be gone by tomorrow, you're a bit stuffed, really. So yeah, if you've got everything on Zappo as we have, then that's fine, as long as you haven't got too much in there. But yeah, the thing with the vault is Zappo, as far as we believe, is 99%, it's 100% secure anyway. And we've been told that it's probably, if there is a fork, it's going to support it, so your money will be safe in there. Okay, let me go back to share screen, and I'm just going to do a run through of the Thrive dashboard. Okay, so this is my account, and this is the Thrive dashboard, and you literally go over on the left and click on dashboard. Okay, now I'm going to run down them just quite quickly, and then at the end, if there's any questions, I will go back and answer them. This is to register a member under your own link. Now, very often in many businesses, people don't, they're worried about getting things wrong, and they're worried about people signing up wrongly and not doing it correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this and show you how to register a member under your own link from your own back office. So with this, you need to make sure that you click these first 2 buttons here. Okay, now it says you have 72 hours from registration for your Bitcoin to clear. Now, Thrive have their own internal server, so the payments backwards and forwards are very, very swift with them.
Minutes.
Literally minutes, yeah. So click these 2 so that you know that you have 72 hours. Personally, I would leave it at 48. Because if there is a bit of a delay, then I would make sure that you tell whoever you're signing up that it's 48 hours and not 72. And then please ensure you do 1 transfer and that the wallet receives the correct amount. So what they're saying is that if you're sending it from your wallet, make sure you're actually sending the exact amount in that you need to send, depending on whether you're buying a bronze ad share or whichever Tanzanite you're buying.
And make sure that the fees are included.
Yes, so basically,
that's where it usually
make sure that Thrive receives the exact amount it needs for that package. Don't take the fees off. You have to add. But once again, what will happen now is your wallet should automatically do it. I know in Zappo, it asks you if you want to send it with a 6-block or a 2-block speed, which is the actual timing of how long it takes. So basically first class and second class stamps for the UK. We always send it the slower one because it doesn't make any difference really. But what it does then is it adds the amount of the fee onto the amount you're sending. So you make sure then that your actual receiver gets the right amount. And that's really important. If you ever need any help with that, make sure you check with someone first. This one, we always select business ads. Okay, let me just come back. I'm going to look at the questions in a minute. So company name isn't important because it hasn't got the asterisk here. Don't forget you are filling this in for somebody else, not yourself. So you've made sure that it's your name and your number. And the person's first and last name you're inviting. You'll need their cell phone number, whichever country they're from. You'll need their email address, their date of birth. And the passwords for Thrive are 6 digits only. Digits or characters, 6 only. Okay. Then you choose the package. Ignore this one now. This will soon be gone. We spoke to Will the other day. It's going to be going. So whether they're buying a 0.3, 0.5, 1 Bitcoin, whatever package they're buying, make sure you click on it and they're sending exactly the right amount with the fees as we just discussed. This one does not exist. Never click on it. You'll need their address and obviously all the rest of their details. Now here, you put the Bitcoin wallet name. So in my case, I would put Zappo. The reason for this is what will happen is when you click submit, it will give you a message of where to send the coin. That is because the system will take out this name and it will enter the Bitcoin address that is specific to this person you're signing up to send in. Because it's all automated, everyone. So when the money goes in, let's say they're sending 1 Bitcoin. When that Bitcoin goes, it recognizes that it gave you that wallet address. So when you sign someone up, all you put here is the name of their wallet, whether it's Zappo, Coinbase, Wirex, whatever it is, and the wallet address only. Just the long wallet address, nothing else. You then click I accept all terms and all privacy and policy and click submit. And what happens is they will get a message and an email. They will get one sent to their email, as well as the one that will pop up telling them where to send it. And then when they go and look at their profile, let me see if I can just quickly show you. It should be on here. When you go and look at your profile, that's your internal wallet address there. Okay? So you can then see that that's the one that you sent it to. So if I want to buy any more under me for that one, that's the one it will give me. So you just seen my profile, which I went through very quickly. This is your business structure. Okay? So my structure has been awarded, because I've got to level 3, a auto ad share. This has come from the retention wallet that equals the earnings in the profit wallet, as we've discussed before. If you don't know what I mean, then please message me and I will give you the presentation I've done so I don't have to go through it all over again. But these come from the retention wallet. You do not buy them. The system does it automatically. From money it withholds so that it can keep the system running. So when you go into view structure on that particular one, I can actually go, let me go back a minute, hold on. I'll actually go and look at this little structure. Now this is the auto ad share, okay, that my system awarded me because I got to level 3. All right, now what it does, it tells me that that auto ad share is paid, obviously, because it's paid by the system. It tells me that I have not placed an ad with this particular auto ad share because it isn't green. It tells me I'm not blocked because it's not red, but it tells me I am paid because it isn't yellow. So there's 4 colors. Yellow means they are registered but not paid. Red means they've gone over their time and they're now blocked. Blue means they are paid, and green means they have placed an ad in the business ad section that they're able to do. Now, this also tells you that there are 3 in this structure. The little number there tells you there's 3. There's 2 people that are also paid under my free auto ad share. And as I tell you in the presentation, everyone, these auto ad shares become little matrices of their own. Okay, they actually become, they are this auto ad share that I haven't paid for, my system did it, is now growing on its own. It's become its own little business. So it will come to a point where you have so many of them that you end up not knowing what's happening. You can't keep track of them all. So it's really important that you just keep promoting, and your business will grow. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard every time there's a message from admin. You can change your password, which I personally don't do as little as possible because I don't like changing passwords. This is the business ad space directory. I'm not going to go into it because I haven't done one myself yet, and I don't feel in a fit state to talk to you about it if I haven't done it myself yet. When I do, if anybody wants to know how to do it, then I will certainly show you. Message from admin. If you click on there, as it's just told me, it tells you all about the different things that are happening, updates, what's going on, all the different things that are going on. It's important that you go and read them, please, because you can't say you don't know what's happening if you haven't read the messages. Now, I will be totally honest with you. I do not go into this wallet because it blows my brains, okay? But I'm going to show you this one. It is, blows my brains completely, okay? This is the retention wallet. This is the wallet that actually works out when the auto ad shares are due, all right? I don't know how it works. I've got to be totally honest with you. I don't know how it works. All I know is it saves half of what I earn. It doesn't make me lose anything. It saves half of what I earn, and it spits out auto ad shares at me. That works for me. That's all I need to know. Perfect. Don't care about the rest of it, as long as it does what it's supposed to do. So I'm not going to go in and show you my own personal profit, obviously, because I don't feel I need to. But that's where you find what your current ad share profit is worth right now, okay? Here you can donate to charity, and this is going to be growing more and more and more. So it tells me that it's me, and it's my name, and there are charities here, 3 of which at the moment have been registered, and I can actually send them money to that charity. It will go straight to that charity, and I know that it's actually going to get there. Now, when you do a withdrawal and when you do anything like this, it says remarks. This is to prove that you are a human being and not a robot. To type in there, thank you, have a good day, enjoy your week, whatever else you want to type, but only a small message, or you can put, please make sure the doggies get this if it's a doggy charity. Whatever you want to put. But put something in there to show that you are a human being and not a robot. Okay? Well, silly message, I've already read the message. Right, so when you want to withdraw, once again, I don't have anything to withdraw, but I have actually made, sorry, Ali's just dying quietly. I have actually made a video on how to do this on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, there's a video on how to withdraw and how to change your transaction password, which you will find here. Okay, so you can also do an awful lot of these things from the members details link. The change transaction password, like I say, I've changed mine, so I'm not going to do it again. If you want your referral link, you click on member details and you go to my referral link. And our recommendation that we use is we use GOO.GL, because Google like it. If you are using Google, then you need to use one of their shorteners. It's really important. They will send more traffic to your links, more organic traffic, if you are using one of their shorteners. Okay, and now I can't find out where I was. I've lost my thing now. I think it's here somewhere. I can't find it. Right, so I'm going to stop sharing anyway. Okay. So, Luno calculates the fee separately. Yes, completely. That's, most of them do it separately, but it's just to make sure that you're actually sending in, or the person you're registering is sending in the correct amount. So was there any more questions about the back office I haven't covered? Anybody think of anything that I haven't covered? No? Do you understand that a bit better now, John? And obviously you're in a syndicate, so if you need the password and everything to get in, I have put it in the room before, but I'll do it again for you to go in and have a look. And you're very welcome to go and have a look at that and just to see what's going on in there. That's not a problem. Does anybody else have anything I can help you with this evening? This is going to be recorded. Obviously, we are recording it. So you can obviously come back over anything that you've missed out on. Or if you'd like us to do these sometimes, just to go over stuff, that's not a problem at all. Thank you, Greg. So anything at all, then please let us know. Anyone that's not linked to us, if you want my Skype, this is my Skype ID, and we're very happy. Oops, sorry, James, I sent it to you. You've already got me on Skype. This is my Skype ID. If anybody wants to add me, just put in the message that you are from the meeting, and then we'll know who you are and I'll recognize the name. And then, of course, we will add you on Skype and be able to keep you informed of stuff we do on our YouTube channel. So thank you very much. I hope there was some good to all of you. It went on a little longer than I thought, but hopefully there's some good information in there for everyone to take out and hopefully a lot less worried about Bitcoin.
Don't panic about Bitcoin.
No, don't panic. It's not going anywhere. Say, for example, if you withdraw from your wallet, it will ask you to change your password. No. You mean to do, yes. You will have to set a transaction password. Camille, are you on Skype? Are you on Skype, Camille? She can't hear me now. I'll find her. Okay, I'll find her. Basically, if you need any more questions, then please go to our YouTube channel. I will put a link to it. Okay, Camille, that's fine. That's fine. I will put a link to it somewhere where you can see it, or add me on Skype, like I said, and then you can go, and there's quite a few videos on that YouTube channel of things to do with Thrive already and Bitcoin things and all the rest of it. So thank you very much, guys. I'm going to end the meeting now. So glad you all turned up. Really grateful. And thank you, Ali, for sitting here with Shada and the dinner. Bless her. We'll hopefully talk to you all again soon. Enjoy thriving and take care of each other. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.